Lila sat on her bed, staring out the window at the stars twinkling in the night sky. It had been 6 months since her best friend Mia moved to another city. The distance felt like an endless void between them, and Lila often found herself feeling lonely and sad. They had shared so many memories together, late-night talks, laughter over silly jokes, and dreams about the future. Now, those moments felt distant, like stars that were far away and unreachable. Every time Lila thought about calling Mia, a wave of uncertainty washed over her. What if Mia had made new friends? What if she didn't want to talk to Lila anymore? These thoughts often held her back, trapping her in a cycle of doubt. Lila wished she could bridge the gap between them. She didn't know how to start. One evening, while scrolling through her phone, Lila came across an old photo of them at the beach. They were laughing, the sun setting behind them, casting a golden glow over their faces. Lila smiled at the memory, but quickly felt a pang of sadness. She wanted to feel that connection again, to hear Mia's voice and share her life with her once more. That night, she decided to write Mia a letter. Pouring her heart onto the page, "Dear Mia," she wrote, "I miss you so much. It feels like we are light years apart, and I wish we could talk like we used to. I think about you all the time, and I hope you're doing well." As Lila continued writing, she felt a little spark of hope. Maybe this letter would help reconnect. Then, after finishing the letter, Lila hesitated. Should she send it? What if Mia didn't reply? Taking a deep breath, she sealed the envelope and dropped it in the mailbox. A sense of relief washed over her. At least she had taken a step forward. Days turned into weeks, and Lila found herself checking the mailbox every day. She hoped to see a letter from Mia, but nothing came. Just when she thought about giving up, her phone buzzed with a notification. It was a message from Mia. "Hey Lila, I got your letter. I miss you too. Things have been so busy here, but I'd love to catch up. Let's video chat this weekend." Lila's heart soared. She quickly replied, setting a time for their chat. The thought of seeing Mia's face again filled her with excitement. On Saturday, Lila prepared for the call, tidying her room and even putting on her favorite shirt. When the screen lit up with Mia's smiling face, all her worries melted away. "Lila, you look great," Mia exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with joy. "You too? I can't believe how much I've missed you." Lila replied, her heart racing with happiness. As they talked, Lila felt the distance between them shrinking. They shared stories about their lives, their struggles, and their dreams. Mia told Lila about her new job and the friends she had made, while Lila shared her daily adventures and thoughts. They laughed about old memories and plans for the future. It was as if no time had passed at all. By the end of the call, Lila felt a sense of renewed hope. She realized that even though they were physically apart, their friendship remained strong. The connection they shared was not broken. It was simply evolving. They promised to keep in touch more regularly, planning video calls and even visits. As Lila hung up, she looked out at the stars again. They seemed brighter than before, reminding her that distance was just a part of life. She felt empowered, knowing that she had taken the initiative to reach out and reconnect. Just like humanity was capable of great things, so too was her friendship. In that moment, Lila understood that sometimes it takes a little courage to bridge the gaps in our lives. Just as she took a step toward Mia, she realized that in her heart, she was never truly alone. The stars twinkled with promise, and she knew that no matter the distance, the bond of friendship could shine brightly across any void. And so, as she drifted off to sleep, Lila felt a warmth in her heart. The universe was vast, but with hope and connection, even the greatest distances could be overcome. Just like the humans in her favorite stories, she had walked away from her fears and stepped into a brighter tomorrow. Lila woke up the next morning feeling lighter than she had in weeks. The conversation with Mia had filled her with hope, but as the day went on, the reality of their distance settled back in. She missed her friends' laughter, the way they could talk for hours about everything and nothing. Lila decided that if she truly wanted to keep their friendship strong, she needed to take more steps to show Mia how much she cared. After breakfast, Lila grabbed her notebook and began to plan. She wanted to surprise Mia with something special that would remind her of their friendship. She flipped through the pages, brainstorming ideas. A care package, scrapbook of their memories, or maybe a video message filled with her favorite memories. Each idea made her smile, but she wanted to make it perfect. As Lila thought, she remembered how they used to dream about traveling the world together. They'd always talked about visiting places like Paris, Tokyo, and the beaches of Hawaii. Inspired by that dream, she decided to create a small, travel-themed care package. She would fill it with items that reminded them of those adventures they had imagined. That afternoon, Lila set off to gather supplies. She found a small box and filled it with a few treats, some gummy bears, Mia's favorite candy, and a postcard of a beautiful beach. She also added a little notebook for Mia to write her own travel dreams. As she packed everything, Lila felt a sense of excitement. This was her way of saying, "I still think about you, even from far away." While she was working on the package, Lila thought about how she had once felt so alone and distant. Now she felt strong and determined. Just like in the stories she loved, where characters faced challenges and found ways to overcome them. She was ready to fight for her friendship. She knew that putting in this effort meant something. That made her feel powerful. After finishing the care package, Lila wrote another letter to Mia. She poured her heart into it, telling her how much she missed her and how important their friendship was. She included the travel postcard, saying it was a reminder that they would explore the world together someday, no matter how far apart they were. Lila sealed the letter and the package, feeling proud of what she had created. The next day, she went to the post office to send the package. As she handed it over to the clerk, Lila felt a rush of excitement. This was her way of reaching out, and she hoped it would make Mia feel as loved as she truly was. She couldn't wait for Mia to receive it. Days passed, and Lila checked her phone often, hoping for a message or a sign that the package had arrived. Finally, a week later, her phone buzzed with a notification. It was Mia. "Lila, I got your package. It made my day." "Thank you so much." Mia's message brought a smile to Lila's face. She felt her heart swell with joy. "I love the postcard. Let's plan a trip together when I come back," Lila quickly replied, her fingers flying over the screen. "I'm so glad you liked it. I can't wait to plan our adventure. You mean so much to me." They continued to chat, sharing ideas about their future travels and reminiscing about old times. Lila felt the distance between them shrinking again, just like it had during their video call. It was clear that their friendship was strong enough to withstand the miles that separated them. As the conversation went on, Lila realized that she didn't need to be afraid of the distance. She had taken the initiative to reconnect, and it had worked. Every step she took felt like a small victory, strengthening the bond they shared. She felt empowered, just like the characters in her favorite stories who faced challenges head-on. That night, Lila lay in bed, looking out at the stars again. She thought about how she had walked away from her fears and doubts, choosing to reach out to Mia instead. It made her feel courageous. She knew that friendships like the universe could expand and grow, no matter the distance. With a smile on her face, Lila closed her eyes, dreaming of all the adventures they would have together in the future. She understood now that even when people are far away, love and connection can bring them back together. Just like the humans in her favorite stories, she had faced loneliness and found a way to reconnect, proving that hope and friendship could bridge any distance. Lila woke up the next morning feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. After receiving Mia's message about the care package, she was eager to hear more from her friend. They had made plans to video chat again that evening, and Lila couldn't wait to see Mia's smile on her screen. She spent the day daydreaming about their conversation, imagining them laughing and making plans for their future adventures. As the afternoon sun began to set, Lila prepared for the call. She tidied her room and made a cup of her favorite tea, setting the scene for a cozy chat. When the time finally came, she settled into her chair, heart racing with anticipation. As she pressed the button to connect, she felt a flutter of hope. The screen lit up, and there was Mia, her face bright and cheerful. "Lila, I'm so glad to see you again," she exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with joy. "Me too. You look amazing," Lila replied, her heart lifting at the sight of her friend. They started talking, and it felt like no time had passed at all. They shared stories about their daily lives. Mia talked about her new job, and Lila shared her adventures with her family. As they chatted, Lila felt the warmth of their friendship wrapping around her like a cozy blanket. "Remember when we talked about traveling the world?" Mia asked, her voice full of enthusiasm. "Of course. I can't wait to go to Paris with you and eat all the croissants." Lila laughed, feeling a surge of happiness. "Let's make a plan. I'll save up, and we can go next summer," Mia suggested, her excitement contagious. "That sounds perfect. We can visit all the places we dreamed about," Lila replied, her heart racing at the thought. They began to map out their dream trip, talking about the sights they wanted to see and the food they wanted to try. However, as the conversation continued, Lila noticed a hint of sadness in Mia's voice. "I've been feeling a bit lonely here. It's hard to start over in a new place," Mia admitted, her smile faltering for a moment. Lila's heart ached for her friend. She knew that moving away could be tough, and she wanted to support Mia through it. "I understand, Mia. It's hard to be away from everything familiar. But remember, you're not alone." "I'm always here for you," Lila said, her voice gentle. And reassuring, Mia nodded, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "Thank you, Lila. It means a lot to me. Sometimes I feel like I've lost a part of myself being away from home, and you haven't lost me. Our friendship is still here, strong and true. We can always find ways to stay connected." "Promise I'll always reach out," Lila replied, feeling a surge of determination. Inspired by their conversation, Lila suddenly had an idea. "How about we start a new tradition? We can have a monthly theme where we both explore something new and then share our experiences. It could be cooking a new dish or learning about a different culture." Mia's eyes lit up at the suggestion. "It sounds amazing. I'd love that. It would give us something to look forward to and keep our friendship alive." "I'll start by learning how to make a traditional dish from Italy, and you can learn about Italian culture. Then we can share what we've learned next time we chat," Lila said, feeling excited about the idea. As they continued brainstorming, Lila felt a sense of purpose. She realized that even though they were physically apart, they could create new memories together. Their friendship was not defined by distance, but by the effort they put into it. When the call finally ended, Lila sat back in her chair, a smile on her face. She felt empowered knowing that she could help Mia feel less lonely and more connected. Just like the heroes in her favorite stories, she had found a way to combat the darkness of distance with hope and creativity. That night, she lay in bed. Lila looked up at the stars shining through her window. Each star seemed to remind her of the bond she shared with Mia. She knew that no matter where they were in the universe, their friendship would always shine bright. With hope in her heart, Lila drifted off to sleep, dreaming of adventures yet to come. In that moment, she understood the true strength of their connection. They had walked away from each other physically, but their hearts were still intertwined, ready to face whatever the future held together. Lila woke up the next morning with a renewed sense of purpose. After her heartwarming conversation with Mia, she felt inspired to take action. Their idea of creating a monthly tradition excited her, and she couldn't wait to dive into their first theme, exploring Italian culture. She hopped out of bed, ready to learn something new. First, Lila decided to research Italian cuisine. She spent the morning browsing recipes online, dreaming of the dishes she could make. Suddenly, she stumbled upon a recipe for homemade pasta. The thought of rolling out dough and shaping it into fettuccine made her smile. It would be fun and a little challenging. She quickly wrote down the ingredients she needed and made a shopping list. After lunch, Lila headed to the grocery store. As she walked through the aisles, she felt a sense of excitement bubbling inside her. She was on a mission to reconnect with Mia and show her that distance didn't have to keep them apart. With ingredients for pasta and a few Italian spices in her basket, Lila felt powerful. She was taking control of her friendship. That evening, she called Mia to share her plans. "Mia, I'm going to make homemade pasta for our first theme," Lila announced, her voice filled with enthusiasm. "Wow, that sounds amazing." "I've always wanted to try making pasta from scratch," Mia replied, her excitement matching Lila's. "I'll take pictures while I cook and send them to you," Lila said. "You can cheer me on from afar." They spent the next few minutes discussing the dish and what they would do for their next theme. Lila's heart swelled with happiness. Even though they were miles apart, they were creating new memories. Together the next day, Lila gathered her ingredients and set up her kitchen. She pulled out a large mixing bowl, flour, eggs, and a rolling pin. As she began to mix the dough, flour flew everywhere, and she couldn't help but laugh at the mess she was making. Cooking was supposed to be fun, and she was enjoying every moment. While the dough rested, she took a break and pulled out her phone to text Mia. "I'm making a mess in the kitchen. Flour is everywhere, but I'm having a blast," Mia replied almost instantly. "Ha ha, I wish I could be there to help. Just remember, it's all about the fun." With renewed energy, Lila returned to her task. She rolled out the dough, focusing on making it as thin as possible. She cut the pasta into strips. She felt a wave of accomplishment. This was more than just cooking. It was a way to feel connected to Mia and their shared dreams. Later, she cooked the pasta and made a simple marinara sauce. The smell of garlic and tomatoes filled her kitchen, and she couldn't wait to share the result with Mia. Once everything was ready, she set up her phone to take a video of her meal for Mia. "Okay, Mia, here it is. My homemade pasta," Lila said, holding up the plate with a proud smile. "I wish you were here to try it with me." After sending the video, Lila sat down to enjoy her meal. With each bite, she imagined Mia sitting across from her, laughing and sharing stories. The distance felt smaller, and her heart felt full. That evening, Mia texted back, "Lila, the pasta looks delicious. You did an amazing job. I can't wait to try it when I visit." Lila's heart soared. She felt a sense of joy and warmth, knowing that their connection was strong despite the miles between them. They talked about their next theme and how they could explore different cultures together. Each suggestion filled with excitement and laughter. As they chatted, Lila realized something important. She no longer felt lonely or distant. They were building a bridge across the gap that separated them. Each conversation, each themed activity, brought them closer together. Their friendship was alive and thriving, no matter the distance. That night, as Lila lay in bed, she gazed at the stars. Outside her window, each twinkling light reminded her of the bond she shared with Mia. They were like stars in the night sky, sometimes far apart, but always shining brightly together. In her heart, Lila knew that even when life took them in different directions, their friendship would endure. It's just like the heroes in her favorite stories who faced obstacles and emerged stronger. She felt empowered. She was ready to keep fighting for her friendship, to bridge any distance with love and creativity. With a smile on her face, Lila drifted off to sleep, dreaming of the adventures that lay ahead. She understood that hope and connection could conquer any distance, and that made her feel truly alive. Lila woke up the next day with a smile on her face. After her successful pasta-making adventure, she felt a renewed sense of hope in her friendship with Mia. They had turned their distance into a creative challenge, and it made her believe that they could overcome anything together. As she got ready for the day, she thought about their next theme and how much fun they could have exploring new cultures. Over breakfast, Lila picked up her phone to text Mia. "Good morning. You ready to plan our next theme?" "I was thinking we could learn about Mexican culture and try making tacos." She hit send and waited eagerly for Mia's reply. Seconds later, her phone buzzed. "Yes, tacos sound perfect. I can't wait to learn how to make them with you." Lila felt a thrill of excitement. They were building a tradition that brought them closer. She decided to research Mexican cuisine and gather ideas for their taco night. After breakfast, she sat down at her computer and started looking up recipes, watching videos and learning about the history of tacos. As she explored, Lila discovered that tacos were not just food. They were a part of Mexican culture filled with stories and traditions. She found recipes for different types of tacos, from classic carne asada to delicious vegetarian options. The more she learned, the more excited she became about sharing this experience with Mia. That afternoon, Lila made a list of ingredients she would need. She wrote down tortillas, various fillings, and fresh toppings, like guacamole, salsa, and cilantro. With her list in hand, she headed to the grocery store, her heart filled with anticipation. At the store, she picked out everything she needed. As she placed the ingredients in her cart, she couldn't help but daydream about taco night with Mia. They would laugh, cook together, and share stories about their lives. The thought brought warmth to her heart, making the distance feel a little less daunting. Once she returned home, Leela started preparing for their taco night. She sent Mia a message to let her know what she was doing. "I'm getting everything ready for taco night. Can't wait to cook with you." Mia replied with enthusiasm. "Me too. I'll set up my kitchen and we can video chat while cooking together." As the evening approached, Lila set up her phone in the kitchen, making sure it had a good view of her workspace. She was nervous but excited. This was another opportunity to connect with Mia, to share laughter and joy through cooking. When the video call started, Leela saw Mia's bright smile on her screen. "Hey Leela, you ready to make some tacos?" Mia asked, her eyes sparkling. "Absolutely. Let's do this." Lila replied, feeling her nervousness fade away. They both started cooking, following their recipes while chatting about their week. As Lila chopped vegetables and grilled the meat, they shared funny stories from their childhood, the distance between them shrinking with each laugh and shared memory. "Remember that time we tried to make a giant cake for your birthday?" Mia asked, giggling. "How could I forget? We ended up with more frosting on ourselves than on the cake." Lila laughed, recalling the sweet chaos of that day. As they continued to cook, Lila realized how much she had missed this connection. Cooking together, even from afar, felt like a special bond that brought them closer. Finally, they finished preparing their tacos and sat down to eat. Lila held up her plate, filled with colorful toppings and steaming tortillas. "Cheers to taco night," she exclaimed. "Cheers. This looks amazing," Mia replied, holding up her own plate. They took their first bites together, and Lila's face lit up with joy. "This is delicious. I'm so glad we did this. I love it. It feels like we're sharing a meal together, even if we're miles apart," Mia said, her voice warm and full of happiness. As they finished their dinner, Leela felt a deep sense of gratitude. They had turned a simple meal into a beautiful experience that brought them together. She knew that no matter how far apart they were, their friendship would always be strong. After they finished eating, they talked about their next theme. Lila suggested exploring another culture, and Mia eagerly agreed. They began to plan the next adventure, their excitement growing with each idea they shared. That night, as Leela lay in bed, she felt a sense of peace. She understood that distance would always be a part of their lives, but it didn't have to weaken their friendship. Instead, it had made them more creative and determined to stay connected. Looking up at the stars outside her window, Lila smiled. Just like those stars, their friendship shone brightly, no matter the distance. She felt empowered and hopeful, knowing that they could overcome any challenge together. With a heart full of love and determination, Leela drifted off to sleep, dreaming of the adventures that awaited them. As the days turned into weeks, Lila felt a deepening connection with Mia through their cooking adventures. Each themed night brought laughter, shared memories, and the joy of learning something new together. However, she also felt a twinge of sadness whenever she thought about how much she missed seeing Mia in person. It was one thing to share a meal over video chat, but it was another to be together in the same room, laughing and cooking side by side. One sunny Saturday morning, Lila decided it was time to take their friendship to the next level. She picked up her phone and began researching ways to surprise Mia. She wanted to show her that they could still create memories together, even with the distance between them. After some thought, she came up with a brilliant idea, a virtual cooking contest. Leela spent the next few hours planning details for the contest. She would choose a new dish for them to make, and they could compete to see who could create the best version. It would be fun, and it would bring a little friendly competition into their friendship. She couldn't wait to tell Mia about it. That afternoon, Lila called Mia to share her idea. "Hey Mia, I have a fun idea for our next theme," she said, her voice filled with excitement. Mia's eyes lit up through the screen. "What is it? How about a virtual cooking contest? We can pick a dish, make it, and then have a taste." test over video chat. We can even ask our families to judge our dishes. Lila suggested, feeling her heart race with excitement. That sounds amazing. I love it. What dish should we make? Mia replied, her enthusiasm contagious. Lila thought for a moment. How about homemade sushi? It's colorful, fun, and we can get creative with the fillings? Perfect. I can't wait to show you my sushi skills, Mia laughed. They spent the rest of the call planning the details. Discussing which ingredients to buy and how they would present their sushi, Lila felt a rush of happiness. This contest would be a great way to reconnect and make new memories together. The following week, Lila went shopping for sushi ingredients. She picked out fresh vegetables, seafood, and nori sheets, feeling excited about the upcoming competition. When the day of the contest arrived, she set up her kitchen and prepared everything carefully. She wanted to impress Mia and have fun at the same time. When the video call started, Lila was bubbling with energy. Are you ready for the sushi showdown? She asked, grinning. Ready as I'll ever be? Let the best sushi win, Mia replied, her eyes sparkling with excitement. They both started preparing their sushi, sharing tips and tricks as they went along. Lila enjoyed watching Mia's creativity shine as she rolled her sushi. They laughed and cheered each other on, forgetting about the distance that separated them. As they worked, Lila felt a sense of joy and purpose. This cooking contest was more than just a fun activity. It was a way to strengthen their friendship. Even though they were far apart, they were sharing an experience that brought them closer together. After they finished rolling their sushi, they carefully plated their creations. Lila looked at her colorful rolls, filled with vegetables and shrimp, and felt proud. Okay, time for the taste test. Let's see whose sushi tastes better. She announced. They took turns tasting each other's sushi, giving playful critiques and compliments. Your sushi is so colorful. I love how you added avocado, Lila said, her mouth full of food. Thanks, yours looks so professional. I love the presentation, Mia responded, her laughter ringing through the screen as they continued to taste and compare. Lila realized how much she treasured these moments with Mia. They were creating new memories that would last a lifetime, even if they were separated by miles. The distance no longer felt like a barrier. Instead, it felt like a challenge they were overcoming together. After they finished eating, they decided to involve their families in the judging. They called their family members to taste the sushi and vote for their favorite. Lila's family gathered around the table, excited to be part of the contest. When the votes were tallied, Mia won by just 1 point. I can't believe I lost, Lila exclaimed, pretending to pout. But it was so much fun. We should do this again, Mia said, her voice filled with joy. That night, as Lila lay in bed, she reflected on the day. The cooking contest had been a success, and it had reminded her of the strength of their friendship. They had walked away from the challenge of distance and turned it into something beautiful. Looking up at the stars through her window, Lila felt a wave of gratitude. No matter how far apart they were, their bond was unbreakable. With hope and determination, she drifted off to sleep, dreaming of the many adventures yet to come. Lila woke up to the sound of birds chirping outside her window. It was a bright, sunny morning, and she felt a warm glow in her heart. After the sushi contest with Mia, she realized that their friendship had grown stronger, even with the distance between them. She had learned that love and connection could overcome any obstacle. She was grateful for every moment they had shared as Lila got ready for the day. She thought about how they could continue to nurture their friendship. The monthly themes had turned into something special, but she wanted to do more. She wanted to make sure Mia felt as valued as she truly was. She decided to send Mia a little surprise gift to show her appreciation. Lila spent the morning gathering materials for the gift. She found a small box and filled it with items that reminded her of their friendship. A friendship bracelet. They had made together a tiny photo album filled with pictures of their favorite memories, and a handwritten letter expressing how much Mia meant to her. Lila wanted Mia to know that even though they were apart, she was always in her heart. After finishing the gift, Lila carefully wrapped it and addressed the package. She walked to the post office. She felt excited and hopeful. She imagined Mia's face lighting up when she opened it. This surprise was a way to bridge the distance between them, reminding Mia that she was loved and missed. When Leela returned home, she decided to call Mia. "Hey Mia, I just sent you a little surprise in the mail," Lila said, trying to contain her excitement. "A surprise? What is it?" Mia asked, her curiosity piqued. "You'll just have to wait and see." "I hope it makes you smile," Leela replied, grinning. The conversation flowed easily, just like it always did. They shared stories about their days and laughed about little things that had happened. Lila felt light and happy, knowing that despite the miles between them, they could always find joy in each other's company. A few days later, Lila received a text from Mia. "Lila, got your package. It made my day. Thank you so much." Lila's heart swelled with joy. "I'm so glad you liked it. What was your favorite part?" "I loved the photo album. It brought back so many great memories," Mia replied. "And the bracelet is perfect. I'll wear it every day." Leela felt warmth spread through her. She was thrilled that her gift had brought Mia happiness. They continued to chat, and Leela felt a wave of inspiration. She wanted to keep the momentum, going to create even more meaningful experiences together. "Let's plan a virtual movie night," Lila suggested. "We can pick a fun movie, make popcorn, and watch it together." "Great idea. I've been wanting to see that new animated film. Let's do it this weekend," Mia replied, her excitement evident. As the weekend approached, Lila prepared for their movie night. She gathered snacks, made popcorn, and set up her living room for the perfect cozy atmosphere. When the time arrived, she logged onto the video call, eager to see Mia again. "Hey, movie buddy." Mia greeted her, a big smile on her face. "Ready for some fun?" "Absolutely. I can't wait to watch this together," Leela replied, her heart fluttering with happiness. They started the movie, laughing at the funny parts and sharing commentary throughout. Leela felt as though they were sitting side by side, just like old times. As they watched, she realized that the distance no longer mattered. They were building a new way to connect, one filled with shared experiences and joy. After the movie ended, they talked about their favorite moments and what they loved most about the film. The conversation flowed easily, and Lila felt grateful for the bond they shared. They were creating new memories that would last a lifetime, despite the miles between them. As the night came to a close, Lila felt a sense of fulfillment. She had taken the initiative to reach out and reconnect with Mia in meaningful ways, and it had paid off. Their friendship was strong, and she knew they could face any challenge together. That night, as Lila lay in bed, she looked up at the stars twinkling in the sky. She understood that, like those stars, her friendship with Mia would always shine brightly, no matter the distance. With hope in her heart, she closed her eyes, dreaming of the adventures that lay ahead. She felt empowered, knowing that love and connection could overcome anything. In that moment, Lila realized that even when people walked away, it didn't mean the end. It was simply a new beginning, a chance to grow, learn, and strengthen the bonds that truly mattered. She smiled, knowing that she and Mia would always find their way back to each other no matter the distance.